What happens if you pour vinegar to cover an egg? What if you add Sprite to ice cream or mix Coca-Cola with milk? Watch these and other amazing experiments in this video. We invite you to visit a secret laboratory. Here is Earnest Professor Yum Yum and her ever-hungry laboratory assistant, Miss Glutton. The assistant's just made her snack and is reaching out to add some pepper. But the professor takes the pepper for another experiment. It isn't lunchtime, Miss Glutton. You've just had breakfast. You'd better help me in my pepper experiment. The professor pours water in a bowl. She asks her assistant to add pepper in the water. Achoo! Miss Glutton dips her finger into the peppered water. Nothing happens. Then the professor puts in her finger. Wow, it's magic! Black pepper immediately moves out of the way of her finger. But why? It's easy. The secret component is liquid soap. She puts some soap on her assistant's finger. Let's try once again. Pepper moves away from my finger like the sea parts in front of Moses. Hardly does the professor turn to write the results when Miss Glutton reaches out with her spoon. Are you crazy? You mustn't eat it! Wow! Professor Yum Yum has brought something to eat at last. Okay, little egg, come to me. But the professor takes away my potential lunch. She needs it for her experiments. The problem is to have an egg stand vertically. It isn't solved yet. Miss Glutton tries to do it and accidentally spills salt. The professor's angry. Spilling salt is a bad sign, but her laboratory assistant shows it's not. She puts the egg on top of the salt and it keeps standing vertically. Sometimes scientific discoveries happen by accident. The egg doesn't fall even if you blow at it. It's amazing! The salt's been blown off while the egg keeps standing. Let's continue the egg experiments. Solve another problem. Make an egg float. Though it's no easy thing, gravity works against us. However, the professor knows a hack. Put an egg into a cup and pour in water. Add a spoon of salt and stir. The egg floats just before your eyes. The professor stirs up the salted water. The egg floats again. Let's write it down. Miss Glutton's taken a pen. I hope she isn't going to eat it. Still, I have nothing to write her a message with. Then I'll use a banana. Leave a message on the banana peel using a toothpick. After a while, the message darkens so that you can read it. I leave the banana message for my colleague. Great! She writes a reply to me. We've invented a banana messenger in the laboratory. It doesn't need the internet. Send your messages without climbing down the palm. Miss Glutton's lapsed back into her old ways with getting all test objects into her mouth. While the professor is busy with her science experiments, she's going to bite an orange together with the peel. You should wash it before eating it at least. Take this cylinder full of water. Submerge an orange into the water. It floats. The laboratory assistant removes it from the water and tries to bite it again. What are you doing? Peel it first. Miss Glutton peels the orange and tosses it into the water. It's magic! The peeled orange sinks. It splashes water on the professor's glasses. Okay, her revenge will be quick. She'll eat it. Well, what follows next in the professor's list of experiments? It's Sprite. What should she mix it with? Aha! Raisins! Excellent! Your meal, Miss Glutton, will help the science this time. Pour Sprite into a glass with raisins. They start jumping and spinning immediately. The raisins seem amazed at what's going on. It looks like a new dancing club's opened in the glass. The raisins feel better inside than we do in the laboratory. The laboratory assistant's chewing on a candy. Hey, give it to me! Let's see how Sprite will react to candies. Cut the candies. Pour in Sprite to cover them up. But the candies don't give two hoots about being in Sprite. They're lying still on the bottom. The candies aren't as playful as the raisins. They're so boring that Miss Glutton's gotten hungry again. She comes back holding an ice cream in her hands. Life hasn't taught her anything. The professor will obviously take it as well, just for another experiment. What will happen if you mix ice cream and Sprite? You'll never tell. Put an ice cream into a cup and pour Sprite on top. It starts frothing and bubbling. It looks like an eruption of a sweet cream volcano. Nevertheless, it doesn't stop Miss Glutton. She's always ready to eat anything, be it a volcano or a glacier. What happens if you cover an egg with vinegar? The laboratory assistant's eager to know it. She's going to do an experiment. The professor doesn't object. However, nothing happens. Bored with the experiment, Miss Glutton forgets to remove the egg from vinegar. The laboratory is closed for a short nap. Put an egg into a cup. Pour in vinegar to cover the egg. Wait for a while. Affected by the vinegar, the shell starts damaging and destroying completely. Finally, the shell will dissolve and the egg looks like a semi-transparent gummy with a yellow yolk inside. Oh, we've overslept. We've still got a lot to do. Professor, look at this. Can you recognize the egg? The shell's disappeared and it looks more like a gummy ball than an egg. Miss Glutton's going to make coffee, but forgets a kettle in the kitchen. The professor wants to drink her cola, but she doesn't notice there's coffee powder on the bottom of the cup. We've got an accidental experiment. Put on your rubber gloves. Put coffee powder into a cup. Pour in some cola. Watch the reaction. The liquid's frothing and increasing in size. We hope it won't explode. If there appears a new life in this substance, the professor will carefully write down the results. The professor's away. Hooray! My finest hour has come. I'm going to do my own chemical experiments. Ugh, I can't drink it. Okay, I'd better take it. I'm going to mix a chemical cocktail. Take this. Pour it in. Add a little of this. Put in this strange liquid. Okay, I need a bigger container. This one restrains my talent. Put on goggles. Add a little bright liquid. Put in some white powder. Should I run a chemist bartender training course? Wow, what a bottle! Something's going to happen. Nothing? No? The experiment's failed. Let's add some water. Wow! There's a violent reaction! At last! Someone's knocking on the door. I'd better hide the cylinder as I've got nothing to do with it. Oh, it's not my boss, but an apprentice student. She's looked in to have tea. I pretend I'm the professor. What's this? Marshmallow. It's a chemical laboratory. There's no food allowed. You'd better clean it up here. She notices the cylinder. She's too curious. It's a new secret experiment. You better put on your gloves. It's a scientific laboratory, not a kindergarten. While the student's busy cleaning up the laboratory, I'll have her tea. It's crucial not to mix up my tea with some reagent. The student enters, bringing her marshmallow in hand. Sit down at last. I'll take care of it. Put the marshmallow into a bowl. Put it in the microwave. It swells and melts to transform into a soft mass. Take out the marshmallow and eat it as edible slime. I come back with a melted marshmallow. The student likes the chemical picnic. The melted marshmallow is stretchy and sweet. Though when cool, it turns as hard as a stone. Be careful not to break your teeth. Take it away. I like cola experiments. It isn't for drinking, it's for science. Pour cola into a glass. Add some milk. How should I come to it? Is it going to burst out? Will the glass break? Okay. Who wants to risk drinking the cola and milk cocktail? Carefully pour milk into the glass. Just have a look. The milk curdles and turns into solid flakes. After a while, the solid stuff appears on the bottom and the cola loses its color. There's no winner in this battle of liquids. Yes, science makes everything clear like milk does cola. Student, get ready. I'm going to show you an entertaining science experiment. I'll pick up an ice cube using a thin thread. Well, it isn't ready yet. Okay, I know a trick. Touch an ice cube with a thread. It doesn't react anyhow. Sprinkle the ice with some salt. The thread sticks to the ice cube, holding it tightly. You can lift the cube easily. Abracadabra! I'm holding an ice cube using a thin thread. Don't touch it, it's fragile. The young student suggests doing another experiment. She takes milk and food coloring. Pour some milk onto a plate. Add different colorings. Apply liquid soap on a Q-tip and dip it into the milk. The coloring creates intricate patterns. The plate looks like it's alive. It's true magic! You can never stop watching these transitions of colors. These awesome experiments will make it possible for the student to get the Nobel Prize. Keep it up! Someone's knocking on the door. It must be the professor coming. Okay, student, clean it up here. I should go. I think I should find something to eat. Did you like it in our scientific laboratory? Write in your comments which experiments you do at home. And don't eat anything suspicious. Be sure to subscribe, give your thumbs up, and click the bell to get a scientific approach to anything you do.